Well. Good afternoon, West Ham fans. Fornals to Barcelona, Timo Werner to West Ham. Let's have a chat. Yes, everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. It's Hammer's Headlines in Association with the KUMB.com boys. Check them out. Want some beer? beer52.com/West Ham and claim your free case of exclusive craft beers. Lunchtime today, did a little bit about Callum Marshall. Talking about positive contract negotiations. Unbelievable, Jeff. And tonight we've got our sort of opposition preview Thursday night chat with Turf Moor House's own. We've got Dan on there. Dan's a great guy. So it's gonna be a bit of a giggle. But have a bit of a Anton will be on as well. The three of us might have a bit of a game. If anyone saw when we had Greg from Forza Garibaldi, the Nottingham Forest fan, made a little game. So we might have a little game for Anton and Dan. Be quite interesting. But anyway, Hammer's Headlines in Association with KUMB.com. 3 stories as per usual. So let's start off with talking about what we're saying about Pablo Fornals and Barcelona. Really? Really? Yes, apparently so. According to Fabrizio Romano. Romano, his name is. Barcelona are reportedly keen on a move for Pablo Fornals. We know that Sevilla remain the favourites for his signature as a free agent in the summer, although, they could, and I think it's going to be a policy in January if any clubs put in any bids for players who are due to have their contract come to the end of their contract, not terminated, contract at the end of the summer, they may well take money for them rather than let them leave for free for nothing. But Fabrizio Romano has said that on his daily briefing that they are surprising links with Barcelona and Pablo Fornals as they look for cover for their injured star Gavi, who's unfortunately not very well at the moment. And as I said, he could sign a pre-contract agreement in January, and as Sevilla have been the side who have constantly been linked with Pablo. But as I said, Romano said, I'm not aware of concrete talks for Fornals so far, so there's still nothing decided in terms of a new midfielder. The situation is very quiet. Barcelona's priorities is to use funds on FFP to register Victor Roque, who they signed, and they never actually registered because of FFP. But the likelihood is it'd be a free transfer. Likelihood is obviously Pablo will be going back to La Liga, whether it's Sevilla, whether it's Barcelona. It's got a bit of the whole like Pablo to Barcelona just reminds me a little bit of the whole Mascherano Hayden Mullins thing, but hey ho, he's going to go back to his homeland, and so we'll wait and see what happens. I think if a side does put money in for an offer in for him in January, we'll accept that rather than him leaving in the summer. 27-year-old, he's played a hell of a lot of games for us, but and he needs to be playing first team football. And that's the truth, isn't it? Let's talk about Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick. Obviously, he's one name that has been sort of touted as a potential West Ham the next West Ham manager. Obviously, there will be a new manager at some point of time. As I said, it could be the end of this. It could be end of this season. It could be during this season. It could be after Mr. Moyes has been offered a new contract. There will be a new manager at some point in time. And Michael Carrick's been one of the names being touted around. Obviously, ex-West Ham player, Premier League experience, albeit half a dozen games or so for Man United as caretaker manager, but he was doing well for Middlesbrough last year, doing not so well, but getting a bit better. But according to several sources, including Team Talk on today, it's mentioned that Carrick's existing terms at the Riverside don't expire until 2025. But Chairman Steve Gibson is keen to tie him down to a new long-term deal before this season finishes. If anything, to protect the value of Carrick. So if not West Ham this time around, then no doubt there'll be other clubs sniffing around for him. Young, exciting British manager. And obviously, if he's only got 1 year left in his contract, they can't get as much compensation than if he's got 3, 4, 5 years left in his contract. So obviously, it does seem that there's slight anxiety among Middlesbrough, higher echelons, the hierarchy in terms of getting Carrick tied down to a new deal, and just to protect his value more than anything for the next appointment, so to speak. Should we talk about the women? The West Ham women, the whole Brighton curse has struck once again, as the West Ham women lost to Brighton and Hove Albion 3-2 in the Continental Tires League Cup set group stage fixture, which was yesterday. Brighton opened the scoring before half time, and then after the break, they scored a second and a third, and then obviously we pulled out a goal back. Sissoko pulled on back late on, but Skinner's side didn't really get out of the races. She made six changes in the cup clash, giving even people some. They gave Stapleton a debut as well. They didn't really have many clear cut opportunities. So yeah, it's not fair. That bloody Brighton curse doesn't matter who it is. Although we were over the curse, so to speak, and I know the youth team have beaten Brighton a few times as well, but unfortunately, the West Ham women couldn't get the hat trick at Brighton's place on Wednesday night. And lastly, let's talk about Timo Werner. Obviously, since the whole Antonio thing and then Bowen, and we'll find out tomorrow when we do the David Moyes press conference. I think it'll be probably the most interesting press conference we've had for a long time in terms of finding out or trying to find out some sort of update in terms of the players and the likelihood who they're going to be playing for Burnley. Or, against Burnley, is it going to be Bowen? He's not going to be fit. Probably not. We'll see. Antonio definitely won't be. Danny Ings, Barmer, who's it going to be? Who's going to play that sort of main striker? Kudus, is his back okay? There's all these questions we need answers to. So we'll find out that on Friday. But there's been speculation, massive speculation in terms of who we're going to be signing. There's signing a striker is a priority for this year, this January transfer window, and we've been linked with, I reckon, 8 or 9 strikers, all the way from Santiago Jimenez, Armando Broja, Dominic Solanke, and Timo Werner. And if anything, looking at it, Timo Werner could be the most likely to come, as RB Leipzig are open to offers to get him out of the club, whether that's a full transfer or maybe a loan deal could be on the cards. As they've already got, they're pretty stacked for strikers at the moment, RB Leipzig, and they could really do get the 27-year-old off their books. So whether it's a temporary deal or a permanent deal. But as I said, it's quite interesting. There's several other clubs that are interested in Timo, and he is rapid. There's no denying it. He's very, 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 very quick. And obviously he left. He joined from RB Leipzig. He joined Chelsea from RB Leipzig, then went back to RB Leipzig for about half the price. But he could be back in London in January. According to Sport Blind, it says that West Ham are battling Palace and Fulham to sign him on loan this winter in a bid to provide him not only with a striker, but to provide him with more play time with the Euro 2024s on the horizon. He's since returning to Leipzig, he's bagged 16 goals and 7 assists in 53 games. So that's around 1 in 2 in terms of goal involvements. But he has struggled because the fact is they have an abundance of strikers at RB Leipzig. I think a loan deal for Timo Werner would be absolutely brilliant. I think it's, and whether it is an obligation to buy afterwards, that's a different conversation. But I think if we could get him in January, that would do me. That would do me on loan. He needs game time. We need strikers. And I think he could complement both. And so we could get away with both with getting him in January. But we'll see about that. And that's it, my friends. As I said, keep an eye on the channel. Make sure you join us 9 o'clock UK time tonight. We'll have Dan from Turf Moorhouse and Anton and myself all talking about the game ahead on Saturday. A bit of an oppo chat, have a little game. Dan's a great guy. And it's great to hear him back on the channel. So obviously we haven't had him on the channel because but he went to the Premier League last year, but he's back on the channel. So looking forward to that. Don't forget to check out kumb.com. Tomorrow we'll have the press conference. We'll have any breaking news, all that type of stuff we'll bring to you. And obviously Saturday we'll have the starting 11 shows, the watch alongs, all that type of stuff. Until next time, take care. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Keep the faith, my friends. Come on, you bloody irons. Irons!